AITAH for asking my friend's GF how old she was when she made that ceramic. This happened a few days ago and I wanted to get some opinions. My friend, who I'll call Marcus's GF, Sarah, invited me and a couple more friends to dinner as a way of getting to know one another. Marcus had told us before that Sarah has been interested in ceramics since she was a kid and there were a lot of them displayed in her home. Now here I want to just say that I had no malicious intent when I asked this question, and I just wanted to show that I was interested in getting to know her, as she seemed like a genuinely nice person. So, I saw a little ceramic pot in the living room and asked her how old she was when she made that one, as I also participated in the ceramics club when I was a kid and it reminded me of a similar one I made which I still keep in my house. When I asked the question, I could see on her face that she got upset and she told me that she made it a couple of weeks ago. I immediately tried to explain myself, saying that I didn't mean it was bad or anything, and told her about my own little pot I made, but I could see that it wasn't really helping. Marcus gave me a look and then changed the subject, but I could sense that she was a bit more distant towards me throughout the day. After we left, Marcus called me to berate me while I tried to explain everything again. He is still angry with me for everything, and though I feel bad about my comment, I didn't mean anything bad by it. So what do you think? AITAH? WIBTA if I told my sister she smells? My younger sister has struggled with body odor for years. It's something everyone in my family has noticed, but no one addresses directly. My parents occasionally hint that she should shower or they give her new soaps. I'm not sure if she realizes it, but the odor is strong enough that her entire room smells, and my mom has to use a special detergent just to get the scent out of her clothes. At first, I assumed it was a puberty phase, as she was in middle school when it started, but I just got back from college, and unfortunately, it's still a major issue, maybe even worse. I know she deals with anxiety and depression, and it's likely this is a hygiene issue tied to her mental health. I understand that struggle and really don't want to come across as mean or judgmental. The reason I'm thinking about this now is that she's leaving for college soon and will be living in a dorm with roommates. I'm genuinely worried that people won't be kind about it or that she'll have a hard time socially because of the smell. I'd rather she hear it from me, someone who cares, than from a roommate or stranger in a cruel or embarrassing way. But at the same time, I don't want to hurt her feelings or damage her self-esteem since it is already very low. So, WIBTA if I gently told her the truth? I just want to help, not shame her. Edit. Thank you all for your kind and thoughtful responses. I do plan to talk to my sister in a respectful and caring way. To clarify a few things, my sister is currently in therapy for her mental health and is on medication, which could possibly be contributing to the odor, but this issue existed before she began treatment. The smell isn't like typical body odor, it's very distinct, though hard to describe. I also spoke to my mom, as many of you suggested. It turns out she has addressed the issue with my sister more directly than I realized. I had brought it up with her before, but until I asked today, I didn't know she had actually spoken to my sister about it. My mom believes the root of the issue is my sister's depression, which often leaves her without the energy or motivation to keep up with hygiene. That said, my mom encouraged me to still talk to her myself. She pointed out that I may be able to approach the topic in a different way, as a sibling rather than a parent, and that might resonate more. Since I've just returned from college, I can also offer some perspective on dorm life and why this might become more noticeable or impactful in that setting. I'm taking all of this into account and will approach the conversation with empathy and support. AITAH for posting screenshots of my SIL's texts online and making her look bad. I, 29F, and my wife, 28F, had our sons 6 days ago. The pregnancy was complicated and they had TTTS, twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, which resulted in them coming early. They are currently in the neonatal unit and my wife and I practically live there so we can spend time with our boys. My brother and his wife got married 2 days ago. I didn't want to leave my sons or my wife, so I missed the wedding, though I sent them their gift from us and a text wishing them a fantastic day, and I thought nothing more of it. Yesterday I got a text from my new sister-in-law explaining that because my wife and I missed the wedding she'd need us to send her £140 for our plates of food. I asked her if she was joking and she told me that she got my wife couldn't go as she had to stay in the hospital, but that I wasn't the one who gave birth, so I could have went and saved 2 plates of food from going to waste. I told her she was being ridiculous and asked if my brother was aware she was asking his sister for money for food. She brushed that off and said weddings were expensive and she had to try and recoup her losses, and this should be between us, woman to woman. Between this and her thinking I should have gone anyway, I admit I lost my temper. I ended up taking screenshots of the conversation and posting it to Facebook. This shocked several people in the family, and she must have gotten bombarded with messages as she told me to take it down, as I was making her look bad and people were taking it out of context and thinking she was some kind of villain. My brother called me and told me not to worry about the money, that it was stupid to expect us to pay for the plates, though asked me to take the post down and he'd handle it. He seemed kind of shocked by her even asking this. Did I go too far? My wife is mostly upset by our Sil's comment about how I wasn't the one to give birth, as if it makes me less of their mother. Maybe I should have handled it better, but I admit at the time I wasn't thinking very clearly. Edit. I thought I said in the post but I didn't. Sorry. Running on very little sleep, I took down the post when my brother asked me to do so. AITAH for sending my roommate only 1/3 of our monthly rent? I, M21, moved in with my roommate, M23, last year. He is the older brother of my close friend who knew I was looking for a place, so he told me his older brother is also looking for a roommate. I don't have any formal agreements and I'm not on the lease. I have been sending my roommate half of the monthly rent and utilities for the last 8 months, always on time. Me and my roommate share food for the most part. No one goes overboard, but we are both fine with the other eating some of the items we buy. We are also in a kind of cycle where we take turns buying food, groceries, cleaning products, and we never really have had to ask the other to replenish anything. However, in February of this year he got a new girlfriend who started staying over a few nights a week, which was perfectly fine and she seemed cool. But since April she has been staying here every single day, and every single night. I am still paying 50% of the rent and utilities and groceries. We only have 1 bathroom and she is in there anywhere from 1 to 3 hours per day. She also uses our food, like the bread I buy, meats, vegetables, snacks, and it all disappears a lot faster. It has been annoying me, but I've been letting it slide. I started keeping a lot more of my food and drinks in my room. But earlier this month I noticed that an entire can of Pringles I kept in my room and 2 of my protein bars had disappeared. I know I didn't eat them, so when they went out I also went into their room and found the Pringles in their trash can and my protein bars on her nightstand on her side of the bed, so I know it was her. But the final straw was on Tuesday of this week when there was some Greek yogurt in the fridge. I used maybe 1/4 of it to make a dessert, and later that day she extremely overreacted, opening the door to my room and started yelling at me to never again eat her Greek yogurt and called me a rard. Anyway, it's time month's rent and I'm over it, and ended up sending him only 1/3 of the month's rent, and he asked why it was short and I told him I'm not going to be covering her utilities, food, etc. He told me that's not how it works and I have until the 31st to send him the rest of the rent, otherwise he's going to kick me out, and made sure to remind me I'm not on the lease. It would be mad annoying and inconvenient to have to find a new place. So I need to know if I am overreacting?